All right, babes, it is Bimini and welcome back to The Pieces. I hope you've had a gorgeous new year and I hope you've had a lovely Christmas. And if you tuned in last week to kind of my top 5 moments of the year, one of them was that I have been on a real kind of journey of self-acceptance. And I wanted to elaborate, I wanted to expand on that. And I feel like I'm ready to kind of share my story, as it were. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for me to do this. I've been able to create a platform where I can uplift the voices of other people. And I feel like if I really want to continue on this journey and on this path of acceptance, I need to take responsibility myself and share my journey over the last few years. I feel like it's been incredible. There has been some incredible, amazing opportunities, and I've got to do some things that I had only ever dreamed of, you know? But over those years, I've battled with addiction and depression and anxiety, and it's been a continued cycle that I've really struggled to get grasp on and accept and admit. And I felt so much shame, and I've at times not known where to go or where to look, and I felt weak, and I lost myself. But I can't continue that cycle anymore, and I need to break it. And I think the only way to do that is to be fully accepting of my journey and what led me to it and how I got there and how it affected me and the people it affected around me. And just, don't know why I wore mascara for this, but to accept that it's not, to accept myself for my flaws. I know and what I've been through and admit that I needed help at times. And I don't think I was ready to help myself because I felt an immense pressure that I was putting on myself, but also just around me, because I got the opportunity to do some things, like I said, my wildest dreams. And I'm forever grateful of that. And I never want it to feel like I'm ungrateful or that. But I guess at times I felt quite undeserving, especially when I was in a shame cycle of feeling depression. I've been diagnosed with it now, anxiety and depression, and I'm getting mental health help from doctors, and I'm started back in therapy, which I'd kind of been up and down with over the years. And I think, annoyingly, I'm quite a self-aware person, so I know, and that kind of eats away at me a bit more, if you know what I mean, because I know what's going on, but sometimes that mind is just racing so much, and there's so much going on that I turned to drugs and I turned to drink to quieten that. And sometimes it's a coping mechanism that if I look back through my life, it's always kind of been with me. And in my early 20s, I went through addiction, and there was a long period of time of abstinence from that, 8 years, in fact, where I had fought it. And I felt like I was strong. I still had things that maybe I hadn't dealt with internally, but I'd got over that at one point, and I was very proud of myself for that. And I felt strong. And that's when I kind of got into doing drag after that, you know? And it was amazing. That creativity, that freedom to kind of express myself and just be around people that were creative. And it was just fun, and it felt so freeing. And I think, I was good. I thought I was good, you know? I thought I was strong. I thought I'd healed. I thought I was in control. Over the years, I did drink alcohol. That was something that was kind of always around in my life. I had fought that then and got over it. And then I felt powerful again. I felt like I was back in control of my life. Like I'd left those demons in the past. But unfortunately, I don't think I had dealt with it the way that I should have done. Then Drag Race came around, And before that, I'd done a whole year of sobriety. So no alcohol, that included no alcohol, that included nothing. And I spoke about it on Drag Race. I spoke about it with Michelle and Rue, and I remember that episode distinctly sharing my story about surviving that, you know? After Drag Race, I couldn't even fathom what just happened. I was getting to do such amazing things, and it was crazy. Like, I was so grateful. I remember shooting like 4 covers in a month, like 4 front covers, and I'm like a little queer working class kid from Great Yarmouth who could only have dreamt of this, and I just didn't cope well. And I got to do, I felt so much pressure. Like, I felt almost like a fraud. Like, I didn't deserve it. And there's so much I want to do that's good, and there's so much still that I want to do. But I slipped back into a cycle. I got access to a world that I thought I was ready for, and through that I got chewed up and spat out by powerful men, or men that I thought had power, that would dangle my career in front of me and not just threaten, but took me through hell that I was not publicly able to share. I wasn't able to talk about. I was silenced, and it affected me in such a dark way that I couldn't cope, and I didn't know what to do anymore, because I was still working. So many people were telling me that I had done amazing things for them and talking about my identity, and that was like the most heartwarming thing ever. But in turn, on the other side of that, I was in a lawsuit from someone that I trusted, or felt like I was trusting, who put me through hell back and forth for 8 months. I lost so much money. I lost so much credibility within the Drag Race sphere because of issues with merchandise that I wasn't allowed to address, and that they were scammed. And I felt so deeply responsible for this, and unfortunately it all caught up on me. And then since then, it has been a battle for the last 3.5 years of not coping well. And the journey it's not linear, and there's some times where I felt like I'm stronger again, and I can cope, and I can do it, and I'm vocal, and I'm vocal to people around me. But then the darkness takes over again, and it has been like that since. And I think it's been a real battle that I've dealt with within myself, and it's something that I felt shame, and I do still feel shame, and I'm trying to let go of that shame, because I don't think I can move forward if I don't let go of that shame. And I wasn't perfect in all of this. I think I became avoidant. And looking back and obviously speaking in therapy and trying to get a deeper understanding, I haven't felt deserving of a lot of it because of this shame that I've been carrying around. And in turn, it has meant I've lost really close relationships in my life. And a lot of that pain that I carry around, it affected those relationships, and I become avoidant. But it's not sustainable. It hasn't been sustainable the entire time. I've just about managed to keep going. I think there's been times where I didn't want to be here anymore, and I think times where I felt like that was it. But I've managed to get through and get to this point. And even though the journey has been hard, this year I've been on a path of really kind of a deeper understanding that I need to let go. I need to open up. I need to speak about things. I need to talk. I need to tell my truth. I need to tell my story. I wasn't ready for everything that happened at the time. I think I went from performing in clubs and bars and doing everything myself to then doing magazines and having a team of so many different people around me and lots of different opinions, which quietened me, I think. Like there were times when I didn't know what I should be doing for myself. And that was really hard to navigate as well, because I wanted what was best for my career, but then sometimes I think that made me look like I felt like I was maybe better than Drag Race, or I thought like I didn't want to be part of that franchise. And it's not the truth. Like, I'm so grateful for Drag Race and everything that I got from Drag Race. I fucking loved it. I watched that show all of the time. Like, but then I felt also there was a lot of gossip within the community about what I was going through and my troubles with addiction and my troubles with drugs. And they were from friends that I felt really hurt by, that I thought were my friends, that didn't have my best interests because they weren't looking out for me, because they would rather talk about what I was going through than directly ask me if I needed help. And do you know what? I'm not saying that they're to blame. I don't think I was ready to admit that at the time anyway. And I think I come up through the scene there is a lot of alcohol, there is a lot of drugs. The community really does struggle with it. But I have decided that enough is enough and I can't continue it anymore. And I think I need to let go of all of that pain and all of that trauma that I've built up over the years, and no longer blame myself, no longer blame anyone else. I have a substance abuse disorder, and this is something that is ongoing and something that I am trying my hardest to battle with and deal with, and I will get there, and I know I will. It's affected not just me, it's affected my friendships, my relationships, my family. It's affected everyone around me. I just can't be that person that I want to be while I'm carrying all of this around. And I've got so much to give. I've got a lot of love that I want to give, and I can't do that when I'm holding on to all of this. And this year's been so much better than 2022 and 2023. They were really dark times. Like I said earlier, like I didn't know how I survived, to be honest. And I can't keep continuing that cycle and that pattern. And it needs to break. And the only way to do that is to admit that I have a problem. And there's power there. And I think it's something that I've known for a while that I want to speak about. But there's the shame. Shame is such a big part of all of this. 2025, I want to try and have a clean slate. It's not all been sunshines and rainbows and front covers and parties and glamorous nights. There's been a lot of that, but there's also been a lot of darkness and a lot of depression and a lot of guilt and a lot of resentment and a lot of bitterness that I've held up and a lot of just feeling very undeserving. And I don't want to feel like that anymore. I deserve everything I've got to do. I worked really fucking hard to get to those places and be part of that. And I've allowed myself to get to a cycle of overwhelm and regret and guilt, and it just continues. And it's a common thing within the queer community. And I feel like I've accepted that this journey is not linear. I definitely feel like I'm in a stronger place. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sat here right now saying this. This is something that I've wanted to address for 3 years, for a really long time. And I think it's just, I want to be honest with not just myself, but with you and people that are listening and people that have supported me and maybe people that have felt like I didn't give a shit or felt I was no longer the person that they looked to. I don't think I was. I think I really struggled. I did really struggle. I didn't think I did. I did. But that person, I want to be that person again for not only myself, but for anyone that watched Drag Race or anyone that has followed my career and was rooting for me and wants me to thrive, because I haven't been thriving. I've just been surviving, just about. And I think now I need to let go of all of that pain and just get to that point. And there's so many reasons when I can look back in my life, and some things maybe I'm not ready to talk about yet that happened a lot when I was a lot in my teens or my 20s, and I need to just be open and honest. And I no longer want it to affect my life the way I've let it. It's controlled my life. the reason I say I'm on this healing journey now, and it's been a long time coming, is because even though I can have these long periods of time without using drugs, it's always in the back of my mind that I'm putting so much pressure on myself that I have to be as fit as I can. I have to exercise as much. I have to eat as healthy as I can. It's unhealthy. It's addictive. I have that behavior, that pattern where everything either has to be all or nothing. And I think this is the year that this finally gets addressed. And this is the year that I finally sort my shit out and deal with it and be open and honest. And I hope anyone that listens, if they've struggled, or a lot of people probably wouldn't even know. Like, some people that are close will know, or have witnessed me over the years, been like, oh, they feel a lot different. They feel like they're avoidant. But some of you probably have no fucking clue. And I just needed to do this for myself. I just want everyone to know that I'm not letting this happen anymore. I'm taking back the control of the narrative that's happened over the years. I mean, I've had depression and anxiety for a very long time, and I think I've not addressed that. And I've just recently been diagnosed with it, and it's now kind of allowing me to open up and accept that. I lost a lot of friends that I've really, really trusted over the years because of my avoidant behavior. And also, I think we didn't all know how to deal with it in a proper way. I didn't deal with things head on. I don't bitch about people. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to slag anyone off. If you're my friend, I've got your back. But as soon as I start hearing hurtful things, then that really hurts me a lot. And people that I really loved and really respected and put a lot of love into really did hurt me. And it's just been a really kind of difficult few years. It's been hard to admit that I'm an addict, but I'm not letting that power anymore. Like, I needed to do this. I think there's strength here to get to this point. I've got to move through this discomfort, the part of me that I've hidden for so long. And I think a cycle that I get into as well is I become quite isolated and lonely because the people that I am around, instead of feeling like maybe they're the problem or that I'm the problem, I will avoid those people because I'm too scared that I'm going to relapse, or I'm too scared that I'm going to go back down off the wagon. And it's just not healthy. It's just left me lonely. It's left me isolated. Like, there were points that I'm surprised I'm still here. And I've gone through such dark times that there's got to be light. And I feel the light. I can see the light at the end of this now. And I'm moving past through that discomfort. I think that's a really important way to look at this. It's these feelings of shame and discomfort that I need to let go of. I want to get back to being happy. I want to get back to being a really positive light and a happy person and dealing with everything head on in the best way and being a boss bitch that I know I am. Yeah, this can't happen anymore. So I just wanted to take this time on this day. When you're watching this is going to be January the 7th, 2025. I'm taking back control of my life. And I know the journey is going to be difficult to get there. I can't say right now I'm free from addiction. Addiction is a disease that is always going to be within me, but I'm going to be doing my best to change that. And I want to be the best version of myself so that I can give all the love and give back that I want to do. I feel like if you can't love yourself... Yeah, I'm on a love journey. I'm on a healing journey. I'm on a love journey. And I want to apologize to myself, firstly, for getting myself here and allowing myself this long to feel all of these feelings of shame. But fuck that now. I'm not doing it. I'm going to get free, and I feel free. I feel free, a relief, speaking about this and just being open and honest. And also sorry to anyone that I have let down, or if you felt let down. I wasn't able to give 100% because I couldn't give that 100% to myself. And I didn't love myself, and I couldn't give the best. So I want to be that again, and I want to get there. And fuck all the things that's happened over the last few years. These people that have taken advantage, the situations that I've got myself in that I wasn't able to address. I feel like they really did damage me as I just continued just trying to thrive or trying to do my thing. I'm so grateful that I've even still got opportunities to do this, you know? Like I've been able to do that through depression, through active addiction, through anxiety, through feeling all of these feelings of despair and hatred of myself. And I'm on that journey of love and self-discovery and getting back to who I am in my core. And I feel powerful speaking about this. I feel like this has been like a long time coming, and I think it's going to really benefit me and help me move forward and move past all of this and just be kinder to myself, because I lost that kind voice in my head. It became quite negative. It became very dark, and I think we're ready to let go of that. And I'm excited now, to be honest. I'm excited to like be at this point, because I've been feeling ready to do it for this whole year, you know, and I wanted to just do it. I was like, how do I speak about it? Like, what do I do? So I'm very lucky that I've got this podcast and I get to do this and get to sit in front of the camera and just speak and be real. I think there's more needs to be done for addiction within the community. And I think there's a lot of shame and stigma around drug use. And it's something I want to look at tackling, you know, like I want to get into that and have those conversations. They are hard conversations. The amount of conversations I've had over the years with people that love me and care about me that have been the most difficult thing to hear, but I couldn't accept it. It just made me feel so weak and spiral and low. And I think we need to talk about those feelings and ride through it. So I'm ready. I'm ready to let it go. That's what's happened, and I'm ready to move past that. You know, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for sticking by me. Yeah, I'm ready to love myself. Thank you.